Welcome to another episode of the NERO Show featuring pro bike mechanic Edwin Britt.
Edwin's been riding the new Cervelo S5 and we compare it to the Chinese Quick Pro. What does he think of them both?
Scopes, Enves, reserves. He's also been riding a number of the big name wheels recently. We chat through his experiences.
Of course, we've got dog or fast bike, and then we see if Edwin can convince me that one bike is good for road use. All right, let's get into it. So Edwin, you've been riding a few bikes. Enve Malay, which we will get to, because that was something we chatted to about you a couple of months ago, and you've been riding one, so we will get to that. But you've been riding the new S5 as well. I want to pick your brain. What do you think about that? Coming off an Enve Malay onto the new S5, given that you've also ridden, you had the old one.
Yeah, I didn't have the new S5. I had the old OG disc brake S5.
Nice.
Yeah, and also the rim brake S5.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
So I've gone through three generations of S5.
A generational S5 reviewer in our midst.
Yeah.
So what do you reckon about the new one?
No beat around the bush. It's fast. It's snappy. It's tight. It's a good bike. Like, coming from my previous experience, which I've done a lot of kilometers on the first generation of disc brake S5, my brief experience with the new S5 has been pretty nice. It's noticeably lighter and tighter feeling. It just feels much more reactive, much more ready to pick up, much more ready to go. Whereas I felt like the first generation of S5 was a little bit more sluggish, a little bit more like a System 6 where you had to sort of spin it up and get it up to speed before it really started to ride well. I've been riding the new S5 with the new reserves that have been designed for that bike.
Factory optimized.
System integration.
Full system integration. And I could feel the system integration. The bike just felt...
You could feel the package.
I could feel the package. It felt...
so well-rounded.
It felt fast. It really did feel really, really well put together. And, if I was a professional, I'd be pretty happy, or I'd be looking at other guys in the peloton being like, that's... the setup that I want to ride.
So I'm curious because you've ridden the old, well, I say old,
two
System
generations
6, the
ago.
Cannonade System 6. I say old because I don't think they even make it anymore.
No, they don't.
Speed-wise, that was just as quick as the S5.
Yeah.
Still is. So is it just that it's heavier, or is there something in the layup?
I think it's probably a combination of both. I think the S5 it's not only lighter, and it's considerably lighter getting out of the saddle and actually feeling it, throwing it around. But it also feels like it reacts a lot faster. It's just a little bit more nimble and snappy and just a little bit tighter. Whereas the System 6, it felt a little bit more like a board, sort of just a plank of wood, similar to your Cervelo, actually, like how that kind of feels. It's just a very rigid, very stiff bike that kind of takes a little bit of time to sort of get itself up to speed. And when I say that, I'm talking about a few extra pedal strokes to really just get up to, to respond to an attack. Like, you might take 1 or 2 extra pedal strokes to sort of get to a move, whereas the new S5 is kind of immediately there.
When you say that, do you mean literally extra pedal strokes, or do you mean that's the sensation?
It's the sensation, but I feel like it's almost a literal. Literally that is what I'm doing, is what I feel. It's obviously impossible to tell because you're never responding to exactly the same attack on both bikes at the same time. But I feel exactly that is really the feeling, the sensation that you get. You feel like you do have to put in a little bit more effort. Like, the perceived exertion is higher on, something like the System 6, or even something like, the Quick Pro, which we'll get to, compared to the S5.
Can I throw my 2 cents in here? Because I think you're dead right in terms of that sensation, but I'm not so certain there is actually an actual pedal stroke difference. As far as the feeling goes, completely agree with you that I termed it playfulness of that new bike is a sensation, but I compare that to the old bike, and do I think it's requiring 15 pedal strokes now to respond to you, whereas it used to require 18 pedal strokes? No, I don't think that. And because I'm a bit like you in the sense that I feel like that Quick Pro also has that slight little bit of, you just want a little bit of delay.
It's a little bit of delay.
I definitely feel that. But do I ultimately think there is a performance disadvantage from it? I honestly think that the jury's out from my perspective.
But do you think that's stiffness or do you think it's weight? Because in my brain, I'm thinking, oh, that's probably stiffness, right? It doesn't feel, there's a slight bit more flex there, which doesn't give you that feeling. But then compared to like the Cervelo, for example, unless I've lost my mind, I feel like it's pretty stiff. Maybe I just haven't ridden enough bikes to have something to compare it to.
I feel like, I mean, we'll get to this, but like I feel like the Enve Melee, that's a stiff bike, and it responds, and it has that snappiness and that go, and it has that playfulness. Whereas like I feel like the Cervelo is also a stiff bike, but it doesn't quite have it. I feel like maybe somewhere in the layup, your energy is just going into the bike, and the bike is absorbing it somewhere, and it's not translating it to the wheels, like it's not translating it to the tires. Whereas like, you know, something like even the Enve Melee, which is not necessarily a super fast bike, it does feel like it translates all that force straight to the tires. And like, yeah, you can feel that if you ride something like a S-Works SL8 or a Pinarello or an S5 or any of those bikes, they instant torque to the wheels.
I don't think it's weight, because I'm pretty certain I can build that Quick Pro up at a very similar weight with similar depth wheels to what the S5 is, and I don't think I think I could build it up lighter than the current S5, and I don't think I could get that feeling back. But I just want to double down on this. I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing from a performance perspective. I would borderline argue it's slightly overrated from a performance perspective, this kind of playful feeling.
I don't know if you've been following the Tour Magazine aero testing results of the new S5, but they tested it as 2 watts slower than the old S5. What are your thoughts on that?
Chris and I actually had a look at both bikes side to side, because obviously Chris has both. And really, there's not a whole lot different. Like the cord lengths are longer on the new S5, so like the fork legs are deeper. And the seat stays are a little bit deeper, and there's a few little bits and pieces here and there. But I think overall what we sort of noticed was the new S5 is actually a little bit wider frontally.
Do you mean like the head
2
tube
millimeters?
area?
Yeah.
It was millimeters wider.
It was millimeters, but that's sort of all it is. And then a lot of the tubing was just deeper, but also maybe just a little bit wider. So that could possibly have a fairly decent impact on the on how aero the bike is.
That's you trying to answer why you think Tool Magazine tested it slower.
Exactly.
But in terms of your impression riding it, if that Tool Magazine test hadn't existed, would you agree with that? Would you be like, oh, it's about the same?
I've never ridden the second generation of Disc S5. I've only ridden the first, so that my reference point is between my old bike and then the newest generation, and it is notably faster.
Yeah.
And it is notably better to ride because it is a significantly lighter bike, and it has a significantly better response when you ride it. So I haven't got a frame of reference for the older second generation S5, but I can speak to the fact that it is significantly better than what they've done in the past. And I can really only assume that the newer bike with a one-piece handlebar is going to feel a bit more nimble and playful.
But when they tested it, they think they had it at what was it, 6 watts faster?
Yes.
In their own testing?
Yeah.
Don't know. But so there, if you would, so just get the vernier calipers out, do a look test, you could maybe see why it would be slower.
Yeah, but we're really splitting hairs.
Well, your other comment was the UDH.
The UDH as well. So, like, Cervelo doesn't have the neatest hanger anyway on their previous generation. They have this very fat lock nut that sits on the outside. It's not flush and nice like a Dogma or like a few other bikes. They have a really nice flush dropout. The UDH takes up a fair bit of room. Like because it's UDH, it has to be a fixed size. It has to be exactly one sort of specification, and they can't really change that because that's the whole point of the UDH. It's universal, so it's not super aero. Like it's a bit of a blunt, bluff body that's in the wind. I mean, it is at the back of the bike, sort of where the air is like trailing off. Like how much is that really going to But I feel like if they really wanted to make the fastest possible bike, they would ditch that and then try and like really go 1% in every single area of the bike. I mean, UDH gives you the flexibility of running
a gravel group set on
a gravel group set on a road bike, which is not
which we will get to,
which is not that good.
Okay. And it also did have deeper wheels when Tour Magazine tested it. I just don't want to. I can't let that one go. I'm still curious to see. Yeah, okay. Well, that's something. The UDH sits out a bit wider. It's probably cops a little bit more wind, and the actual frame tubes, at least at the head tube, is a little wider, tiny bit wider on the front.
But we're splitting hairs. Yeah. Like it's really it's minimal differences here and there that probably add up.
Yeah.
I mean, would you take those differences for a lighter system weight? Probably. Like if you were Jonas Vingegaard, probably you'd take the lighter weight over the couple watts aero saving.
So I've got some Tour Magazine jig results.
The jig
to see.
Beautiful.
What does the jig say? Bottom bracket lateral stiffness. Now, this is because the Tour Magazine results can be quite hard to find. This is a ChatGPT generated results, so it could have made them up, which is what it sometimes does. It's got the bottom bracket stiffness of the Cannonade System 6 at 70 newtons per millimeter, and the Enve at 57 newtons per millimeter. So System 6 bottom bracket slightly stiffer. Head tube stiffness 101 newtons per millimeter for the System 6, and the Enve is 96 newtons per millimeter. So head tube stiffness and bottom bracket stiffness of the System 6 is both more than the Enve. So I would suspect, based on those numbers, that feeling you're getting that you feel like the Enve just accelerates a little better is just a weight thing, at least based on those numbers.
Just feels a little tighter. Feels a little.
What's this term? You've used this.
Oh, it could be geometry.
No, and also geometry, of course. Like the chainstay, like the seat stay angle is different on both of those bikes. That will definitely have an impact on the way the bike responds.
You've used this word tighter a few times.
Tightness.
Yeah,
tightness.
Can you? Is there a definition? Do we need the Edwin dictionary for the tightness, or what are we?
I feel like tightness is when you ride a bike, like say like a Quick Pro, right?
Yep.
Or like, and let's compare the Quick Pro and the Cervelo together. I feel like the Quick Pro is a very tight, put together bike. Okay. Everything feels right. It feels well put together. Nothing really like feels out of place. It doesn't feel like the geometry is a little bit in or there. It feels like it rides how you'd expect it to ride, basically. Like it feels, it's a very hard thing to sort of describe.
No, keep going.
The Cervelo, when you ride that, I feel like it kind of feels like some parts of the bike aren't really gelling with others. Like I feel like when you attack out of the saddle, it doesn't quite feel like the chainstay length or whatever, like whatever it might be, it's not really gelling together, and the whole thing doesn't really come together when you really need it to. Whereas I feel like the Quick Pro does actually do that. It feels really well put together, and you don't feel like there's any sort of like design or cues that have been missed.
I like it because I've been really struggling to find a way to describe the Ultra experience, because obviously that was a bike that was very comfortable.
Yeah.
I kept saying it's comfortable. But anytime someone would ask me more about it, there's this other factor to it that I couldn't quite put my finger on and how to describe it. And it's this tightness. It's almost like that handlebar system was kind of just plonked on, and then they had this sort of rear seat stay system that was kind of plonked on.
Yeah.
And it never really ever felt like it was working together as one to make the bike go faster,
Exactly.
if that makes sense.
You're saying it's lacking tightness.
It was lacking tightness.
Okay.
Sloppy.
It was a,
Right.
well,
Loose.
see, I didn't like
It's
the word
loose.
sloppy, because then sloppy in some way indicated that it was a noodle. So like anti-tightness, we need a word for that.
It's not, it's
It
loose.
wasn't
It was
tight.
loose.
It was loose.
a little bit loose.
It was separated.
Yeah.
Would maybe be how I
Yeah,
would describe it. So yes, I'm going to add tightness to the bike review definitions.
I guess when I ask like what do you think led to a feeling of tightness or a feeling of not accelerating as well, I guess actually it doesn't matter, right? If you ride that and you go, no, this one feels like it's just a bit snappier. What's actually adding to that? It's probably irrelevant. So I think
it's a huge combination of things.
Yeah.
Like it's a lot of things coming together all at once. And I do feel like the Melee is a bike that has everything, has been well thought out. It's all thought together, like the handlebar, the stem, fork, like the whole frame. It's all been designed as one, and it feels very good all at once. I mean, I don't know if you felt that in your experience riding it when you rode it very briefly, but I feel like it's a well put together bike, and it feels like when you're riding it, everything gels. The whole thing gels together nicely.
I liked it. Yeah. No, I did think it was comfortable. I didn't quite get with the Cervelo. The only thing I would get with that would be a comfort thing. Like you could probably say, yeah, it's not as comfortable as some of the latest generation bikes. I wasn't comfortable as the Enve Melee, but I don't really quite get that the lack of tightness. I need the Chris Miller word. I mean, but I haven't ridden as many modern bikes 2024, 2025 back to back, so maybe I just haven't experienced it. So Quick Pro then, the Chinese bike, you rode that, very close to riding the S5, and you've kind of mentioned it here and there. But so, what's the overall take? Would you race a Quick Pro? Is it beating Western brands? Is it as good? Where's it stack up?
I think we're at a time in the industry and in the market where these Chinese brands have come out with a product that is capable of competing and feeling as good as Western products now. Like the Quick Pro is it's a good bike. I really like it. I think it's something I would ride. It's something I would race. I enjoyed the ride quality. We did, I did 2 fairly fast rides. I did one fairly sustained, long, hard effort on it with a few attacks. And then I did another chop ride where there was a lot more like short sprints out of corners.
Did you take that down to La Perouse?
I took it down to La Perouse, and I did Flapper.
Oh gosh.
I did Flapper on the Quick Pro.
Flopped it out at Flapper.
I flopped it out at Flapper, and look, it handled that ride quite well.
Okay.
It was quite good.
Dusted up some corporates on a Wednesday morning.
Like the bike handled that really well. I think the shortcoming of that was the group set that I had on there. So
let's do a ranking then.
Yeah, okay.
So bring up Top Gear style leaderboard. So it sounds like, correct me if I'm wrong, new S5 maybe at the top for you?
I would say just in terms of like if we're just talking about out and out speed, S5 is at the top. Then I would go Quick Pro. Then I would go LA as like the 3 bikes I've ridden most recently.
Not necessarily even speed, just overall. Because
just overall,
the selling point of the Quick Pro is it's not just quick. It's a bike that you will enjoy riding.
Yeah, exactly. It's got that good spring, that reactive.
Just overall as a package, all things considered, do you think it matches the S5 or not?
It's not. It's like the S5 if the S5 was to have like a diffusion model, I would say. Like it's not quite there to the pointy end of the S5, where the S5 is really like it's got that extra 5% here and there. I feel like it's that extra 5% stiffer than the Quick Pro. It's that extra 5% lighter. It's that extra 5% more aero. I feel like that's where the S5 like pulls away from the Quick Pro. I feel like it's got those little benefits. It's not a vastly different bike. It's fairly like they're fairly comparable, but it's still got that edge over it.
Can I make a comment just on it? Is this a fair? Can I make this as a statement? The faster you go with the S5 and the Quick Pro, the closer they get together. So it's almost like the Quick Pro is catching up the faster you go with just pure speed and performance. Whereas when you're at slightly lower speeds, I felt like the S5 was that, like you were saying, that's 5-10% superior.
I'm not sure because we did the chop back to back. So I did Tuesday on the Quick Pro, Thursday on the S5. And I mean, we didn't go the same speed at the chop. It was like a few kilometers an hour difference. So it wasn't exactly the same.
Much windier on Thursday.
Much windier on Thursday. It wasn't exactly the same effort, but I did about 30 watts less.
Put that in the brochure.
So
that in there.
Yeah, at like normalized over the hour effort, I did about 30 watts less. So I only did about 330 watts on the S5, and I did feel like my perceived exertion was a lot lower on the S5, and we were going pretty fast. I felt like when we're really up to speed, I felt like the S5 could just carry through. And sometimes when you're rolling a pace line, you feel like you don't even have to pedal. Like sometimes you almost get sucked into your turn and you basically do a couple pedal strokes.
I want to hold you up on that. That 1 by power meter, I do think is nudging up a little bit. Yeah, I noticed my numbers last night. I don't believe them.
You don't believe them?
No.
I felt like the perceived exertion on Tuesday was higher though.
Okay.
I do feel like I was riding a little bit harder.
So the new S5 frame set with the handlebars is 8,500 Aussie. You're going to buy it from a shop. The Quick Pro with bars is 3,370. So save yourself $5,000. Are we?
Is there $5,000 worth of difference?
Yeah, is there $5,000 worth of difference, or are these the difference that you're describing? Are you, but essentially splitting hairs? Like, does this price to performance blow you away? Because I'm kind of asking you these performance questions, and we're splitting hairs. But like, as a broader thing, what's your take on these?
I mean, it like obviously with anything in cycling, it's always diminishing returns. Like the more you spend, the less you get. I feel, but if you were, if you were a professional cyclist, you were like Tadej Pogacar and you wanted that extra 5%, that's worth it for you. Like that makes the difference. And I mean, you don't have to be Tadej Pogacar to want those benefits. Like you can justify that yourself. Like you want that extra little bit here and there. And if that's worth it for you, that's worth it for you. Like if you are a local crit racer and you really want those extra little bits of performance, you really want to eke out every single watt out of your own body and you want to make every single watt count, like that $5,000 could actually be worth it to you. I mean, you might not have the ability to train enough to get that little bit better. Like you might be time constrained, whatever it may be. Like there's performance on the table that you can buy. Is it worth it to you? You have to make that decision.
Do you agree, Chris? In terms of the performance of the bike? Because I feel like when I chatted to you with the review of the Quick Pro, you were almost sort of, they're almost equal, different.
The reality, there's no way there is $5,000 worth of performance difference in this bike. No way. I mean, I don't know what $5,000 is worth to you, but it's not. I mean, the S5 is a better bike, but it's not $5,000 a better bike.
Okay, but it is night and day better. Maybe I just can't remember.
I didn't say night and day.
Okay.
I'm pretty much in agreement with Ed in terms of we are splitting hairs. But then you get into but this is the performance side, but then you get into the other chat, which is the retailers and the support and all that stuff, which again is as we sit here, is in the side of the mainstream brand for sure, but still $5,500. I mean, and I slightly disagree with when you set out the start with the Quick Pro saying Chinese brands now are at this level. I've only experienced this come to Jesus moment on one Chinese bike. Likewise. Now I've only ridden one recently.
Yeah.
Put me on a Big Rock. I'm not sure I'd be getting the same excitement. So,
the Seeker.
Yeah. Or the Seeker. Yeah, interesting. I mean, the Seeker to me, and you wrote it a little bit.
The Seeker's the Chinese Enve melee, I reckon.
Yes. Yeah. Well said.
That's what I reckon.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, right.
Well made, well built, nice bike. Comfortable, ride it all day, but it's not the most high performance bike.
But the geometry struggle of a Seeker, because that's one of the good things about the melee. Yeah. You've got that really nice stack.
Beautiful geo.
So to answer your question, no, I don't think it's worth $5,500 difference.
If you were Tadej Pogacar, it'd be worth it.
Well, I'm pretty certain Tadej is not.
He's not in the market for a Quick Pro.
Could Tadej Pogacar win the Tour de France on a Quick Pro? Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Absolutely.
Put it that way. Wheels. Hoops. You've been riding a few recently. Where do you want to start? Should we start with the scopes for the boys?
Yeah, what's scopes?
Like, I feel like those wheels, they've obviously been designed to be going fast. They haven't been designed to be going slow. And I feel like something aerodynamically is happening at those high speeds that really keeps them moving along. And it's really evident once you get up to speed and once you really properly like put some power through them, they really feel like they're carrying you along.
How deep are they?
65.
65.
Yeah. They're that little bit deeper
They
than
are.
other. So that's kind of one of the slight tricks is you might have a 55 50 or a 55 60 or a 50 60, and then you put the scopes and they sort of tick over speed. Yeah, but they're that
deep.
bit deeper.
Yeah, and they're even as well. They're the same depth front and rear. Yeah.
I've ridden them.
Can they convert you to carbon spokes?
They're amazing.
You do like them?
100%.
Yeah.
So my three previous carbon spoke experiences, the Cadex Max 40s, the Cadex 50s, and then your CRWs, which I think they were the deep boys too as well.
They were like 70, weren't they?
I don't know.
No,
I
you
think
didn't
you
give
had
me
the
the
50
70.
front with the 75 rear.
Yeah.
And I didn't.
It was the 75 rear though.
Yeah.
It was, yeah. I didn't like the twitchiness specifically of that.
And you
that
rode the
front
number
wheel.
6.
And I rode the number 6. Again, twitchiness and some yet to be replicated speed wobbles on those. The couple of rides I've done on these, they are borderline the best, the fastest wheels I've ever ridden.
Yeah.
I could not believe how solid they were at speed.
Yeah.
Absolutely. They sound like you're riding a disc wheel.
Yeah, they
They've
sound
got that
unbelievable. Yeah.
Sound going to them. I can't offer anything more than that than pure speed.
I find it
certainly.
weird because when I put the CRW, I've got the full complement of wheels now. So when I put the 65-60 combo on or the 50-60, to me they feel this crosswind quote unquote issue is still there. So I don't feel like the scopes solve that for me. The only wheel of that depth that solved that for me were the Caden wheels with the steel spokes. I haven't tested the Caden wheel with the carbon spokes. So I find it interesting that you found the scopes were handled fine, when for me, I feel like they handle about the same as the CRWs.
One thing I really, in the past, have hated sprinting efforts on really deep wheels. I've kind of found that sort of planky feeling to a wheel. The scopes, I had to check again. Oh shit, they're 65s. It actually felt like you're sprinting on a 50 mil wheel, which I prefer. I like. Yeah.
So you had them on Thursday, which was the windier chop ride.
Mm-hmm.
You had them on the Quick Pro on
Yeah.
that windy afternoon, and you felt the crosswind stability was like reserves.
Super. Yeah.
I can't explain that.
Really
for
happy
me,
with
there's
it.
like they're noticeably not as good as the Cadence, which I would, again, we're like putting different things. Like I would think the Cadence would be more like the reserves because it's a wider rim and steel spokes. Yeah, it's interesting.
And we were rolling the wrong way last night.
Yeah,
all
night, every
the
turn.
Dumbest, like wind
every
coming
single
in
turn.
this side, and everyone's just going to continue to roll around here. I'm like, should I say something?
It was a quiet
keep
chop.
riding.
It was actually very demure.
But yes, so I was being super impressed with that. I mean, you didn't ride the fast sports? Oh, you rode them on the Seeker?
No, I didn't ride the fast sports.
What do you think about this crosswind thing?
I do think the scopes handle crosswinds very well. I don't think they're on the level of Enves, which I think, in my opinion, are the most stable, and they're the best that I've ever ridden. Like, they are unbelievably stable.
But they're just not that deep. Like, what's yours a 50
mine are
front,
50 in the front, 56 in the rear. So, like, we're almost at that, like, 60 mil.
Yeah, but when you go from there's something happens.
It's wide,
from
though.
A 60.
They're a wide. So, like, externally, they're 32, front and rear. And then internally, they're 25. So, like, they're pretty blunt. And I feel like that sort of bluntness has a very, like, has an impact on how stable they are. And I feel like once you go very deep, you kind of have to get a bit tighter. You have to get a bit narrower. That trailing edge has to get.
Do you get, because one of the party tricks I always thought of the reserve wheels was that's perceived sailing effect.
Yeah,
like you'd get the kind of cross
like
tail or
the
crosshead, and you're like, oh, I've got the jib out here.
Yeah. I feel like the Enves have that as well. That's like, you do get that sailing effect. I noticed that last night a lot, actually, that I was just sort of rolling through without having to really like pedal at all. I was just getting sucked along and just sort of sailing through turns, which was quite nice. and I didn't feel like the scopes had that, but at speed, once you're at sort of 45, 50 Ks an hour, if you wanted to accelerate up to like 55 Ks an hour, the scopes would just do it, no worries. Whereas I felt like the reserves, you probably had to put a bit more power through the pedals to sort of get them up there.
Do you think the scopes handle crosswinds on the front as good as the reserves?
Not quite. I don't feel like they handled it as well. I feel like the reserves were very stable. Like I feel like if you're riding no hands as well, like I feel like the reserves are very, very stable. They track a very good line, and I feel like the scopes aren't quite there. I mean, it is lighter, obviously, so it's going to be more.
And you got more wheel out the front.
But still, I feel like even last night, like I could feel that the reserves were very stable. Whereas
I wouldn't be willing to make a statement one way or the other. Last night I took my gilet off mid-chop, dropped to about 8th wheel, did the hands off the bars, gilet off, back pocket, into the NERO suit up the top. Beautiful. Get yours.
Links below.
Beautiful segue.
Well done.
Thank you. So that's
clean. That was
Thank
clean.
you very much. No, and on the down, coming down towards the Ramwick gates, super fast, bit of cross head at that point, cross tail. No issues on the Scopey boys.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, splitting hairs again, like not a huge difference. Like I didn't ride the scopes last night, so it was probably not the best comparison because it was windier. But yeah, I do feel like this. I feel like a little bit more weight in the wheel does lend it to be a bit more stable, and the scopes are obviously very light. So I feel like inherently they're going to be a little bit less stable.
I'm obsessed with that feeling because I have the wind thing now displayed on the hammerhead where you see the current wind angle at all times. I'm obsessed by it. I'm always just looking down and like, I got crossed. Oh, what a nice little.
And you just weren't paying attention to it at all last night. You didn't even worry about.
No, I just exactly. Every time we'd come around, I'm like,
should be doing the right thing.
You're using that. What tire do you have on that scope?
Aero 111 on the front,
29
TT on the back. Still waiting for the archetypes. Architects.
I think. Okay, we need this conversation's in. I think that we need to do some more digging here. I think there could be something going on with that tire.
The reserves running exactly the same tires.
Oh, the Conti tires on the reserves now.
Yeah, Aero 111 in a 29, and then what is it? A 28.
It's a 28 TT.
28 TT in the rear for both the reserves and the scopes. So even testing there.
I just quickly clarify. I heard some clown. I can't remember, was it Bicycle Station or someone, some idiot claiming that it's 30 watts at 45 kilometres an hour for that
for the
111. No. It's
that is
very minuscule.
30 watts is like you cut yourself in half.
No. I'll dig out where I found that and pop it in as B-roll. But yeah.
Sorry, Bicycle Station, if it wasn't you.
If it wasn't you, yeah. Shout out to Trey and the boys.
Yeah.
No, because I want to get you on the 6560 reverse mullet, and then I want to get you on the 65 CRW with the scope rear, so you can because it's the same depth. Then we can just put the aero tire on and just go like for like. Now that you've warmed up to the carbon spokes,
I'm warmed.
I feel like there's just a lot of different. We got tires changing, wheels in different bikes.
I feel like the scopes though.
I'm a little confused.
The carbon spokes and the scopes are just so much better than anything else I've ridden. Like so much. Like any other carbon spoked wheel is just nowhere near in the quality and like the ride feel as well.
The ride feel, because it's that low spoke count.
Yeah. And also where they brace the spoke, they actually have the spokes internally nippled, which is a very hard thing to do a carbon spoked wheel with internal nipples. I feel like that bracing being further, it like elongates the spoke even longer. So you're getting a really, really long spoke, which is obviously going to deflect a lot more. Whereas like all these other carbon spoked wheels, they've got quite high flanges and their nipples are like sitting quite far outside the rim. You're getting quite a short spoke. Like the effective distance of the spoke is a lot shorter. Whereas like because the scope spokes are going basically full length all the way into the wheel, you're getting quite a few more mil worth of spoke there. I think that has something to do with the ride feel as well.
You didn't test Enve wheels in your Caden wheel testing, did you? It was the scopes, the reserves, and the...
Yes. The two different width scopes.
That's right.
And the reserves.
Yeah.
The problem with the Enves is they're just not going to be as fast because they're not as deep. There's just no. So it's not really. That's why it's almost, if you're going to do like wheel testing and like chat between wheels, especially in terms of stability, they have to be within a mil at least. Probably closer, even half a mil, because the difference between a 55 and a 65 front wheel, for example, is quite significant in how it handles. It's not really apples and apples to compare between. Well, because you own the Enve Malay now, like that's your bike.
Yeah.
And it's kind of funny that the last couple of weeks now you've been riding the Quick Pro, riding the S5. Is this changed your mentality? Are you kind of getting, probably need to be back on an NERO bike?
So this is what I was saying to Chris earlier, is he stretches his back out 3 or 4 times in a chop. And you know what I'm doing? I'm just sitting pretty, feeling good. I'm in the pause all night. I feel good. And I think the thing is...
But you're a lot slower.
I don't
like,
know. I don't know.
Like, he's very comfortable back there.
I'm very comfortable,
even
though.
Chris said, as soon as you got on the aero bike, it's like...
Let him
back
finish.
again.
Let him finish.
To be fair, I've done a lot of training recently on a steel bike with 10 kilograms of possessions on the back of like clothes and stuff. So I feel like I am fitter right now, the fittest I've been with my Enve Malay. So next week we'll see for sure.
Oh, okay. I want to report, Chris.
But owning the Malay is nice because it's good every day. Whereas like owning the S5, it can be a bit of a slog because it's stiff and it does take it out of you. Albeit the new one is a lot better than the one that I owned. I felt like that really took it out of you a lot more, and really sort of put a lot of the road force into your body. Whereas like now I feel like it's a lot more reduced, but it's not quite at the level of the Malay where you can just ride the thing all day long and get off the bike after a 200k ride and feel completely fine. Because I mean, I'll always remember this. Like when I did Melbourne to Warrnambool one year, I was in the breakaway for a very long time, and I could basically barely walk after getting off the bike. Like I was in the break for maybe about 180 kilometers, and my back was completely done on the S5. But I feel like I could do that same effort on the Malay and be relatively fine, or something like a Super 6 Evo, like be completely fine. Like just get off it and be no worries.
But we got wider tires now.
Look, the back stretching thing, yeah, okay, he's not wrong. But I will add, I'm 15 years older than him, and I'm also I think that's my position. I think my position is designed, especially when we're doing those fast-paced group rides, I'm designed to be down, trying to tuck my head, like flat back, all that shit. Like, let's assume I'm therefore able to adopt that exact same position on the Malay. So you're saying to me on the Malay, then I wouldn't have to be stretching
I feel
my
like
back.
it's like not as rigid. It doesn't, just the angles of the seat tube and the head tube, they put you in a little bit more of a relaxed position. Like if apples for apples exactly the same, I feel like the S5 is going to transfer a little bit more of that road force into you. Whereas I feel like the Malay sort of, it soaks it up a little bit more. And
you're right.
You're only aero when you're in the aero position.
Yes.
That's a very important thing. So
you are right. It becomes a performance disadvantage for me, definitely. Like if I get to the 40, 45 minute mark and I'm like, I need to stretch my back out here.
Yeah.
Because you start
or like
to
the
feel
5 minute mark.
Well, hang on. Chill out.
But you do you do any mobility work?
Hey, look at me. I'm in the gym every second week.
Do you do any releasing, any pre-ride?
Yes. Inconsistently.
No,
I regard myself as relatively flexible, though. I'm not a complete clown when it comes to it.
Okay.
Like I'm not walking around with your dodgy back. Like it's slightly better than that.
I feel like it's you convinced yourself you don't need an aero bike because Chris Miller stretches his back at the chop.
He's
not
coming
just
up with
that.
pathetic
Not just
excuses.
that.
Come on, what else you got?
But don't you
Owning
get
it every
FOMO?
day, a little bit. I mean, like, look, it is faster. I'm not gonna beat around the bush. It is faster. I'm not like, it just is. But owning a bike like the Melee is quite nice because it is a bike that I actually really enjoy riding every single day. And like,
But
no
you've
matter what
also
I'm doing on it, I really like it. Like,
But you've also got a steel bike. Just get a quick pro.
well, yeah,
And just take the parts off the steel bike and put them onto the
I'd
fast bike.
take
Then you've
the
got
parts.
the Melee and your race bike.
The steel bike, that's never changing. That's
Okay.
that's with me forever. That's going to be
This is
always
just-
built.
all right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jesse doesn't like the romanticism of the steel
Well,
bike.
you've got 2 endurance bikes.
Yeah, I mean, the steel bike. I mean, it's as fast as you want it to be, but I mean,
The steel
it's-
bike has a purpose. You
it has
just
a
did a
purpose, yeah.
bike-packing trip
Yeah.
in Malaysia.
Mm.
Steel bike. Fantastic.
Perfect thing.
Amazing.
Literally perfect thing.
Fantastic.
I wouldn't take any other bike,
No.
and that is really the reason why I got it. It's because I want something that I can do amazing, cool adventures on, and
The issue
Just-
here is not the steel bike.
No.
Yeah.
No.
It's not.
I'm just I'm genuinely curious because like you might do some racing later this year. I mean, you do all the local racing. Summer series is going to start up with the criteriums. You do the chop all the time. You might do a UCI race.
Regrets.
How are you turning up to the start line on the Malay, not going, oh, I really should have got my ducks in a row with an actual race bike?
well, like I'd like to
Just
see.
Don't worry about it.
I mean, like, look, I like the Melee, and I also like riding bikes that are quite unique. How many Melees do you see rolling around? There's
Yeah,
not.
but we're talking
there's
about
not
race day. You're on a race. Because this is a guy splitting hairs between a quick pro and an S5 that's
Yeah,
5%
yeah,
better.
yeah.
And like, if there's a hair to split there, there's a freaking wig to split between an S5 and an Enve Malay.
Totally. Like, I'm not gonna.
How does that not bug you? I don't understand. I don't know.
It doesn't bug me because
Yeah.
I'm comfortable owning a bike like that and riding it every single day. Whereas, like, when I owned the S5, it would be a bit of a dog to ride every single day. Like, when I was doing a lot of Ks back to back to back every single day, day after day. Obviously, I'm not like in a position to do that anymore, but like, I feel like the Melee is something that I'm comfortable just taking out every single day, and I'm never going to be like looking at it being like, fuck, I have to ride this bike today. I'm not going to. My back will be intact.
He's fallen
and-
in love. He's blinded by love.
It has a lovely ride. It's a lovely riding bike.
Chris
yeah,
is just
I do-
happy because
if I could have
3
another-
times easier to roll over him at the chop.
If
now.
I could have another bike, I'd probably go for something like an S5, something like a Quick Pro. Doing a Quick Pro build just for crits and the chop, that would be cool. Like, that'd be nice to have that. And then I could have.
How would you do the build? Give us the spec.
Well, I'm not going to go 1x. We'd probably go 2x.
Shimano or SRAM?
I mean, all my other bikes are Shimano, so I'd probably like to switch it up with SRAM. I'd probably go Force E1. Force E1, we're going to go full new breed, like 165 cranks, short cranks, 54 chainring, and then a like 1033 cassette. I reckon 34 narrowest bars, 34 bars.
Those bars are good on the Quick Pro, actually.
Yeah.
Yep.
Galfa
They're nice.
rotors.
And then just Cage FSD 50 wheels.
You would run the cage wheels.
I'd run the Cage
50s.
wheels. Yeah. The Cage 50s. Because, I don't know, I'm just not a big fan of the super deep wheels. I used to run them. I used to run the Knot hologram 68s. They were just too deep. They were way too deep. They were just absurd. I mean, they were fast, but they were dogs. I like that sort of more. I mean, it's not really a midsection wheel, but it's like could go an L2 group set actually.
No,
don't do
that.
it. No,
Don't do that.
Not yet. Give it a few
No.
more years.
Yeah, no,
What's up with Galfa rotors? Do you rate them?
garbage.
What, so no, actually, but what is
Oh,
up with
dear.
them? Are they a fashion thing? Are they a lightweight thing?
They're very light.
Okay,
They're very
it's a
light.
lightweight thing.
I mean, look, they're very light and they look cool, and it's a point of difference on your bike,
Right.
right?
They're pretty
Okay.
cheap too, aren't they? They're like
They're reasonably
good value.
cheap. They're fairly good value, but they are very flexible. They bend easier than any other rotor I've ever worked on. And it's like they're fairly thin, but I don't know if it's like the thickness of the splines of the rotor. They're just too thin. They don't have enough stiffness. But if it's too lightweight for a rotor, but like I would rather have heavy rotors than listen to rotor rub all day long. Like having rotor rub is one of the worst things. It just sucks because it just doesn't go away and it's just there the whole ride and you just can't get rid of it. Personally, I'd rather have a heavier rotor and not rub and just
So if you're desperate to have some proprietary rotor, what's your proprietary rotor go to? Like you can't have a SRAM one. You can't have a Shimano. That's too
goated
stock.
rotor setup.
You got to have something special.
Something special rotors. I mean,
Are your carbon tyres?
Carbon tie. Oh, the carbon tie aero rotors with the full carbon,
spline, everything.
Those are actually a little bit better than the previous carbon tie rotors. I feel like they're a bit stiffer. I feel like the ultimate special rotor is the Campagnolo handbag rotors. I feel like they in my opinion, they're the best rotors you can get because they're just full steel.
Yep.
They're heavy, but they never warp. Their braking is super consistent all the time at all temperatures. I really like the Campag rotors, and they never bend.
Can you run them with SRAM and Shimano?
Yes, you can run them with SRAM and Shimano. Yeah,
Right.
the SRAM rotors are a little bit thicker than the Shimano rotors, so you can't really run the SRAM rotors with Shimano group sets. But
I reckon we could have a Sydney crit team, just all on quick pros. The crit dogs. The quick dogs. The quick dogs.
Quick dogs.
Quick dogs.
Yeah,
custom
race Butchbox in the US.
Yep.
Head to head.
In a
Quick pro.
Have a hook up afterwards.
So in the notes we have to discuss one buy.
Mm.
The SRAM with the Explore thing from the S5, and these two have been riding it. I don't even know why it's in the notes because it keeps coming up as a topic, and Chris and I did it about a year ago, one buy, and I feel like it's something you may want to talk about, people want to talk about. I don't get it because there's almost no advantage. So you're kind of discussing potential, like what are the downsides, what are not downsides for almost no upside. So I just think it's a pointless conversation, but I guess we can have it.
Well, it's more aero, one buy.
Oh my God.
It's more aero.
Says the guy on an Enve Malay.
Hey,
I mean,
look,
I just don't understand.
This is just the facts.
Okay.
It's common in the world tour now. It's commonplace. Guys are riding it.
climbing setups up the friggin' Galibier on your one by.
Climbing
These are guys
setups,
that'll
Very relevant.
Paris-Roubaix.
Okay, right.
Jonas?
They get strip and rebuilds every night before the
so
stage.
do
So
I.
does Chris. So
That's no
does Chris.
issues.
Don't worry.
What's your gearing configuration this weekend? That's why I send him a text.
Yeah, exactly. What's your crank length? Look, I did 2 rides. So the chop on the 1x Quick Pro and then also Flapa on the 1x Quick Pro. And I feel like...
Explore. Can we just clarify?
So we're doing SRAM Red Explore and the gearing was 52 chainring with a 10 to 46 cassette.
He said 52. When that bike originally came was a 50, right? So this is a 52. This is not stock. Why was he even here? We shouldn't even have
This
him here.
conversation is for just
People-
privateers who have nothing.
No.
There's no avenue
People
left.
love
Because they can't
people
get into gravel. Just get into gravel because that's what this conversation
people love
is.
it. Nah, Jesse.
You're a
People,
dinosaur.
customers
You're
come
dinosaur.
in.
Run one
over
by so
there.
we can spend hours talking about
Customers
what our
program.
gearing
Customers,
configurations
customers
are.
come in and they want one by
Man of the
because it's
people.
different. And look,
Okay.
I hear them out. I hear them out. It's a different thing. It's a point of difference.
Yep.
And like
Simplicity.
front derailleurs, some people just really irrationally hate them. So
Okay.
yeah.
So the actual gear ratios in terms of the minimums and maximums when you are running that 1x Explore setup is good. It's easily the same as a 5440 1134 Shimano group set in terms of minimum and maximums, and it's actually better than the standard Shimano SRAM 5037 with the 1033. It's actually a wider spec of or range of gears than that. So the actual range is not particularly an issue. But
It's just the jumps.
It's the jumps.
It's the jumps, which is the problem. Because you're not really going to be riding in like the tight part of the cassette, which is where, at the top of the cassette, you have the 10 and then it goes up to, I believe, about the 24 or so. And then the jumps start to get really big after that. And you're riding in the middle of the cassette most of the time. And I feel like those jumps, you're really in between gears. And at least, obviously, this Red Explore group set, it's designed for gravel. It's designed for having like a negative gear or at least a 1-to-1 gear and being able to get up steep bergs. But if you see guys racing Paris-Roubaix like Mads Pedersen, they're running the Red Explore derailleur because it's got a really tight clutch on it and basically you're not losing the chain. Like I'm sure you would notice this. Like you can really just smash those gears, and the chain is never going to come off. Like, it's just not going to happen.
I think that's actually important to say from this. And if I'm going to come up with positives, that Red Explore shift, it's almost like the worse you shift, you try and crunch that rear derailleur.
It's just nothing. Like,
it's like, I'll shift better.
It's unbreakable. Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah. I actually think it's almost a little bit of a performance benefit. If you were doing a tight crit with some really tight hairpin bends with some fast accelerations and you're in the wrong gear, you can just, at 5 RPM, basically doing like no power, you can shift, or full load 5 RPM, you can shift the whole cassette and the chain's not going to come off. Whereas if you do that on basically any other group set, your race is over. So like little performance benefits.
There's
like
no
that.
crunch to it.
I think
at all.
I brought this up when we were talking about it before. Can you run the Red Explore rear derailleur with a front derailleur?
No.
The system doesn't let you.
Doesn't compute.
Okay.
Computer says no. Just on the jumps, so with that Red Explore, you basically have, so the bottom half of the cassette is essentially the same as your road. You're still like a jump of 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 2. It's that top 4 gears where it goes 4, 4, 6, 8.
Yeah, exactly.
And on a road cassette, that goes 2, 3, 4, 4. So it's that top run where it just steps into the ridiculousness.
Yeah, and then you're just never really on the right gear. But I was saying this to Chris actually during Chop on Tuesday. If you had that Red Explore 13-speed spread, but you had it going from, say, like 9 to 38, I reckon that would be tight enough where you could viably run that in a road context. And it would be, the jumps would be tight enough, and you could have an even tight, like bigger top gear. I mean, you wouldn't have as low of a low gear, but like you'd have a tight spread and you could viably run that setup. Yeah, but to live with day to day, to ride everywhere, 1x is probably not the go, I'd say.
Do you not agree that it's just a solution for a non-problem for basically everyone?
Depending on where you live.
Unless you only live...
But I mean, if all you did was Heffron and Chop...
if you live somewhere flat. This one saying...
No. This Explore group set is for a lot of people. The chat I had with him, and we'll take this the wrong way, it's 1x for Hubbards. It really is. The actual range of gears you have is as better than a lot of normal 2x group sets.
But the fact that it's 1x, so all the positives basically that you're speaking of are because of the rear derailleur. None of it's because it's 1x. You could just have a front derailleur on there and have an option of an inner ring.
But some people just don't want it. It's just too complicated for them.
That is. It's
true.
Thing.
It's really a thing.
Take
it's
the
really
batteries out of the front derailleur. Don't ever use it. Maybe in a year you'll be like, oh, it would be nice to have a front derailleur. Well, it's on there.
And if you're
traveling, it's
costing
you 3 watts.
I think there is. I think it's more serviceable. There's less things to go wrong.
True.
The weird thing for me with this Explore group set is it's not for me. I've come to that conclusion.
Me either. I'm still a front derailleur fanboy.
And I would actually prefer, if I had a Sydney bike, to run a 1x road setup. I actually think that you could get a really nice tight rear. But
you had 1x road and you stopped using it.
For particular reasons, yes, yeah. But that's what I'm saying. Like for me, if I was going to go 1x, that's what I would do. But there is, but I don't want to. But there are the actual range that you get with this Explore group set, and with that, I think the shifting on that rear derailleur is phenomenal.
It's unbelievable.
That if you really like the simplicity, and it is a thing, it is a simplicity thing.
Yeah.
You've got this crazy bailout gear that you can use.
Could have that with 2x. The rear derailleur, you could have that with 2x. So the only, okay, I'm just going to try and split it. The only positive I'm hearing that you couldn't get with 2x is simplicity.
Yes.
And you're traveling and the front derailleur gets knocked. I don't... Because they could just make that 2x, that Explore derailleur compatible with 2x, and you could have your big cassette and still have 2.
Shifting's faster.
I mean, chain drops are more common on 2x just because the clutch is a lot looser.
But you could
the
have
spring tension of the cage on a 2x system has to be less.
Shifting's faster.
The chain has to free fall, right? And if the chain is too tight, it's going to just fall, like it's just going to fly off the bike.
Right.
So like you have a high chain tension on one by, you're very rarely going to have a mechanical problem. Like it's just the chain is locked into the gear at all times. Like you're never going to have a chain drop. Some people, that's like life ending. You know, that's like the biggest story ever is their chain fell off on a ride and it's just like the world's over. So like having the peace of mind that you can ride a bike and not have any drivetrain related issues, like that's a big thing.
But in theory, you could just not shift the front and just pretend it's one by.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Easier to clean. I found that. It's actually really easy to clean a one by bike. You can get right in there, no problems.
Mm-hmm.
I should add, it's not lighter.
Mm.
So the road one by setup that Jonas was climbing on, that is a light setup. That's why he's running it. But this is not. So, for example, the S5 bike when it came built with SRAM Red Explorer was 7.2, I think, without pedals. Putting a 2x on, it's 50 grams lighter. And
you get a lot more versatility.
And the other weird thing is, because of that enormous cassette and that derailleur is a big chunk of metal, you find the balance of the bike's quite odd, that all the weight is actually towards the back end of the bike as opposed to, there being more weight in the middle.
It is a heavy thing.
It's not a weight-saving solution.
I mean, it's a durable thing. There's no doubt about it. Yeah. Like you could crash drive side in the Squircle or Heffron and your bike would be fine. Like it would literally be no problems. You could get back on and just keep riding.
Yep.
But yeah, I think SRAM should bring out a road sort of focused 13-speed spread. And then I feel like that group set would be a lot more palatable. And actually, like, I would be confident speccing it on people's bikes because, right now with that current spread, it's a little bit the range is too wide. The jumps are too big and you can't really get comfortable on the road, I feel. But yeah, I would consider it if the cassette spread was tighter.
I can imagine the positives that you're mentioning, I think I would like. I just think with a classified hub system, I think it would be amazing.
Agreed.
Because I haven't ridden the one by Explore, but I can picture exactly what you're saying because it's almost when I rode the Malay and they had the SRAM derailleur, even the road one, compared to Shimano, that chain tension thing, I can already feel like that would just be that on steroids. So I can imagine the shifting is really nice. I totally get what you're saying. I still think you need the big cassettes. I mean, I'm a coach, so I'm more that awkwardness in between cadence when you're going up bob and head, for example, would just absolutely crack me.
Yeah, you need the tight.
Explore with a more regular road cassette with a classified hub, so you still get the range. Yeah.
The weird thing about this is this is designed by SRAM as a gravel group set. They're not pushing this as a road. Like, take Cervelo, for example. That's Cervelo's decision to put a gravel group set on this bike. That's not SRAM. SRAM aren't forcing them to do it.
Yeah. And
so I still come back to this thing that this is a gravel group set. And so the idea of those bailout gears when you're grinding up a 9% gradient off-road is you're trying to set your cadence to that off-road surface. That is not how you climb on a road bike.
Oh, absolutely.
So it is still a gravel group set.
Yeah. But you could turn it into a road group set just with the cassette. That's it. Like the derailleur, keep it. It's good. Just, different cassette. And then all of a sudden we're going to see everyone at Heffron with 1x13s.
The downside is also from a maintenance point of view. So if you have the 13-speed Explore and then you're going and doing, let's say, Peaks Challenge or a Barrel Classic.
Yeah.
Or maybe even because that's an event you would change a chain ring. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But what if you did that like every weekend or something, or you did a big we don't have that much climbing in Sydney, but if you went up and did a big gorgeous loop or something.
I mean, if you're like Chris and you have 50 different cranks with chain rings, it would probably be pretty easy. Like you could just bang the cranks out and put a new crankset in.
Do you have to change the chain length or it's pretty...
You would have to change the chain length. That is the one thing. It is imperative that you get chain length right with SRAM Road Explorer because it's got no limit screws. There's no physical adjustment on the derailleur to limit the minimum and maximum stops, and there's no B tension. So
Oh.
the way it's designed around the relative position of where the hanger is, and it's also designed around the chain length. So like you have to get the chain length completely right. So if you had a couple chains, you had one for like, a 50-tooth chain ring and one for like 54-tooth chain ring, you could get away with it. And it is dead easy to change. Like it's really easy to set up.
So chain off, crank off. Do you need to do a chain? Is it just chain ring swap to the same cranks?
You could do that. Like it's easier to swap a whole crank arm with a chain ring on it. That's pretty expensive, but you can just do like a chain ring
if
swap.
You have the power meter, if you have the Quark power meter in the 1x,
yeah.
I'm trying to picture what it looks like to change the chain rings. Is it with the little Torx bolts?
Yes. So to change the SRAM chain rings, you've got 8 T20 Torx bolts. Just in like in a star pattern.
And you don't have to do the like that. You don't have to have that proprietary tool to like torque.
Well,
the chain
that's
rings.
for the new Force E1 chain rings.
1x or 2x?
1x.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
1x.
Because that seems like a bit of a hassle. I probably wouldn't want to use that.
But it's a lot cheaper. It's a lot cheaper.
You wouldn't be swapping. You wouldn't be doing. I mean, I'm doing this because I'm trying to try different things, but you would find this configuration that works for you in your local. I mean, that 52-10-46, absolutely grand, perfect.
No,
I would happily run that.
No, but the problem is if you're going up, climb up north, and then you're doing effort, you're meant to be doing like sort of threshold efforts, and you're up the back of the cassette, and then you've got. I'm trying to say, you wouldn't want to use that cassette because the jumps in the gears are so big. And so you're doing,
this is the thing.
Like
you would start to have your cadence dictated to by the range of gears that you have.
Okay, good. So we're back to where we started. So I said, okay, so if you're doing a hilly ride, you would want to run a smaller cassette, firstly, or potentially smaller chain rings, because even with smaller chain rings, the jump in the gears isn't as big.
Like it's because
that's what I could understand. That's why I was almost like, if you just lived somewhere purely flat and you never changed your gearing, you never need 2x. I could understand. But if you're someone that currently uses both chain rings,
it's a little bit of effort.
That range in a bigger cassette.
This is not for you then. If you're that person, no.
But that's almost everyone that doesn't live somewhere dead flat.
No, I disagree.
I think most people. You live in Sydney, which is not that hilly, and even it's not really for you. So who's it for then?
It's easy. It is easier to live with. That is the thing. But I think the biggest thing is, like, the better you get and the faster you get and the stronger you are, the less 1x is for you. That's what I feel. I feel like you need
this version.
Yeah,
yes.
This version at least. I feel like
the less you think it's for you.
Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah, I think the better you get and the stronger you get.
I think you have to remember what it's like going up a climb with a 260, 270 watt FTP.
Yeah, but you have a heap of range with this. You have an enormous bailout gear. And you can cruise up at zone 2. Happy days.
But you're not. That's so demeaning. Someone with a 260, 270 watt FTP still does efforts and is still doing a threshold effort and still wants to fine tune their cadence and doesn't want to go, I'm grinding here, and press to go to an easy gear and suddenly I mean, I don't that's a huge huge downside.
I see that. I see it.
We're all like, we're kind of sitting here having this conversation that this is like, you should almost be considering it, and then you get it and you go, actually, we did this last time. We literally did this last time. Now we're back again.
Now we're back again.
It's one block. There's jumps in the gears. That's not news to anyone. If you are surprised by that, don't do this.
It is. Well, no, that is news to people, because people would go, like Cervelo in the thing go, don't worry guys, the range is the same. And then you buy it and you take it out to Bob and Head and you're trying to do a 270 watt effort and you're going, I cannot find the right cadence. This is shit. That is the experience 95% of people would have in Sydney if they got it.
Yeah.
I'm very confident in saying that.
Okay.
And that's really irritating. And again, for what benefit?
You're assuming everyone wants to go do threshold efforts on hills. It's not for everyone as well. A lot of people who avoid the living daylights out of those places, and they just want to cruise up them and then go do their efforts somewhere else.
I think the way to settle this is you peaks next year 1x, me 2x. And then we can duke it out.
Yeah, get a 40. I reckon you could. You could do a 46. 1046. You need 1-to-1 for the end.
That's why. That's why when we first, I said it's a fake conversation because the benefits are sort of give us. That's a message to Shram. Then give us the rear derailleur. Why? So why don't they just let you pair a front derailleur to that? I don't know. Is there something functional with that rear derailleur that just won't work?
The chain tension is so high.
Right.
A front derailleur basically puts the chain in free fall. Like the chain is literally falling through the air. Like it's sliding down the shift ramps, but it's basically falling through the air. If you have a chain, like if you're pulling that chain really tight, it's going to want to just fall into the bottom bracket. Like it can fall straight off the chainring, and that's why you don't really see 2x with a derailleur like that because it's really tight.
Just wouldn't. Okay.
Yeah.
They'd have to maybe if they did a road version, they'd have to have
less
tension or a switch you could adjust.
Yeah,
it.
exactly. Like Shimano do have the ability to turn the clutch on and off of GRX derailleurs, but it's a manual switch that you actually physically have to go and turn on and off.
Which so you do that if you adjust your setup. If you go 2x to 1x.
Yeah, like say if you were to get it, like you were doing a training ride and you're doing mostly road and you just want some smoother shifting, you would turn the clutch off, and then you can go and turn the clutch back on.
Isn't
on
the clutch
gravel.
More friction?
It's more friction.
Watts?
Yeah, it costs
do we
you
know
watts.
how many?
I don't know. I don't know off the top of my head.
Okay.
It will cost you watts though, because it's just like it's
resistance.
more. Yeah. It's more friction. It's tighter. It's pulling tighter on the cassette.
I wonder if I'd be curious. Is it like 1 to 2 or is it 5?
It would be. It would scale on the amount of tension that the derailleur's pulling on the chain. So like SRAM Red Explorer would be right at the very top of that list of most watts lost due to chain tension. The highest tension cage I can think of. But yeah, I mean, you just look at track bikes, right? They run basically the loosest chain tension possible because it's the fastest. You don't see guys like yanking their wheels back on a track bike and getting them as tight as possible and they sound like a guitar string.
Yeah. All right, I'm done with one by chat for another 12 months. We'll revisit.
No more gears. If SRAM comes out with 9 to 38, I want commission.
No, I want classified. I want to really try classified hub. I'd 100% try that.
They're nice.
All right, what's hot in Sydney currently going through the shops? This is what I want to know. Electric mini pumps, hot or not?
Very hot.
Very hot.
Red hot. Fever pitch.
Fever pitch.
Super hot. Yeah, everyone is coming in the shop asking for electric mini pumps.
Right. Any brand particular? Are we still on the Chinese brands, or is Silka cutting through?
I would say that the Chinese brands are probably doing the best because they're the cheapest and they're essentially the same product as Silka. So, I mean, might get a little bit more build quality with a Silka one, but the Chinese ones are just as good. They do the same thing.
Are you an electric mini pump user?
I've got one. If I'm going to a race, mini pump.
Okay.
Yeah.
You won't take a track pump.
No. I've ditched. Yeah, definitely. I'd stick with that. I'm definitely not back pocket out on the road though.
Yeah.
I'm not taking that thing.
Yeah.
Are most people using them as their home setup or their spares setup?
I think a lot of people think about them as spares setups, and now there's a lot that are really small that you could definitely put in a saddle, like a bigger saddlebag. You could definitely put them in there. But I mean, at the end of the day, you're only going to get maybe 1 high pressure pump or 2 low pressure pumps out of them, and you may as well just carry 2 CO2 canisters anyway.
I don't use it at home because it's super loud.
Yeah, it is loud.
It's just and it's slow too. Like a floor pump, you just bang, a couple pumps and you're good.
I think like the perfect use case for them is like if you were to take it on like a trip away somewhere and you were sort of like in a hotel and you didn't want to bring like a track pump with you and you can charge it every night. That'd be the best thing. Like if you're out bike packing, you probably want to take a hand pump just because you might not get the ability to charge it. And if you run out of charge, then you're cooked. But if you're like going somewhere, like say to a race, like you were doing a Grand Fondo at a different state, that'd be the perfect thing to take with you because you can't bring a track pump. You may as well just bring that.
It's the drive to ride crowd, especially in the US, because everyone drives to ride.
Yeah,
it's everyone's in the parking lot.
Get
in there.
Do you have one?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I use it now. I use that Silka one, but I use it as my set the pressure. So I can take the bike outside before I leave. I do it because it's pretty loud.
Yeah.
Proprietary cranks. No one runs stock cranks anymore, do they? You got to run proprietary.
You got to be running Cybrays. You got to be running Cybrays
for the boys.
You got to be running XK80s, whatever.
XK80s, yeah.
Whatever.
And is this So it's hot.
Hot.
Is it hot as a weight saving? Is it hot as a crank length?
It's hot because it's affordable.
Mm.
It's probably the most affordable way to get a power meter, crank-based power meter on your bike, which is, in my opinion, that's the best kind of power meter to have because you've got free choice of pedals. And it's also, a lot of people are looking for power and shortening their crank lengths.
Mm.
And it's probably the cheapest way to do both. So it makes a lot of sense for a lot of people. Like they might buy a bike out of the box, like they might buy, let's say, a Cannonade. They're getting a medium Cannonade that comes with 180mm cranks or whatever super long cranks they're going to come with. Probably first upgrade is get rid of the recalled DT Swiss wheels and then get a Cybre crank arm power meter that's short, like 165. Like that's very, very common. I see that a lot.
You started that trend.
Mm-hmm.
Happy with that?
Yeah, good.
Smug over there.
Yeah, thank you.
Stack height.
Stack height.
Hot or not?
I'd say it's getting hotter.
Spaces. Space is hot.
Spaces, they're getting hotter,
Okay.
I'd say.
Yeah.
I'd say they're getting hotter.
Are we bonding steer jibs back on? Is that a thing?
Um,
Along with your hooks?
I think, yeah. I mean, like, one of my good friends, he cut his steer tube way too low and had to get a brand new fork to alleviate his sore back.
Who's that?
Gwyn.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah, he had to get a new fork and now he's all the way stacked up.
Stacked up.
And he's faster now. I
Certified.
think.
So what's the coolest amount of spaces? 20 mil? Is 30 mil a bit?
30 mil is not that
Jesus.
cool. I reckon like 15 mil because you're
15 mil.
almost slammed, which is still slammed is steez. Like it's still steezy. It looks,
Okay, so slammed is
good.
still the coolest.
I think it's just the coolest because you're probably like you're not doing yourself any favors, but your bike looks sick.
Okay.
Because I do think the bike looks better slammed. Like it just looks nicer. The lines they flow a bit better. But
Okay, so we're
you
not
know,
at the point.
15 mil here, like just 15 mil above on already like a tall kind of head tube is like that's kind of that's kind of
So
where
what
it's
I
at.
want to know
Hot.
is 15 mil like?
But it's
you see it and you go, that's almost like an if you know cool.
I
Now
think-
it's
I
like,
think
oh,
so,
it's
yeah.
got 15 mil. I just
Yeah.
had a bike.
Yeah, because
Okay.
if you see 30 mil, it's like this comes straight out the box.
Yeah, or 40 mil.
Yeah, that's come out the box. But then you see like just a little bit, it's like it's considered.
Or if it's slammed, now it's like you're just a dumbass. You're slow.
Yeah.
You can't. You're going to be stretching your back.
I'd love
Yeah.
to see that day. It's like, oh, slammed.
Or you get a custom-made steel bike and slam it, but it's actually upright.
Okay.
Mm.
And
All right.
3D saddles.
Saddles.
A 3D printed saddles hot, or is your raw carbon hot?
It's 3D printed saddles
Okay.
are hot. And I've jumped on this trend immediately. I got the first ever Physique Antara 00 3D printed saddle, and I've been running it ever since. I love it. I think it's a great saddle.
Dog of a saddle.
Dog of a saddle. Works for me. I really like it. I think, honestly, the 3D print doesn't really have much of an impact, in my opinion. I think it's just the shape of the thing is really nice.
But is it cool? Is it cooler than a normal saddle?
I
now?
think a sick 3D printed saddle like the Pro Logo ones or the Physique ones, they're cool because they're really well made and they're quite nice. But if you're running like a no-name AliExpress saddle, it's maybe less cool. Not as steezy. You can see because I know a bit about 3D printing. You look right up to it and you can see that it's just the print is not as detailed. Like with the Physique ones and the Pro Logo ones, they're like zonally cushioned, so they have a different lattice depending on where it is on the saddle. So like more towards the front of the saddle, it's a lot tighter, and the lattice is a lot more. It gives you a lot more support, and then towards the back of the saddle, it gradually gets more and more cushioning.
Well, that's
but
the whole
those
point of it, right?
Well, exactly, but then you see like a lot of
Otherwise,
these AliExpress ones, and they're just the same the whole way through.
Dog of a print. Yeah, that's so. Otherwise, what's the
Dog of a
point? They
print.
could have just gone foam and.
Yeah, I mean, it just looks cool. People like the look
Okay,
of
so
them.
you do like the look. See, I don't like the look. I think they look like someone just went to a tip and threw shit together and made a saddle out of it. It's like recycled plastic.
Yeah,
Probably is recycled plastic. It's probably very good for the environment. Raw carbon saddles, the no padding, that sort
as
of
long
thing.
as the shape's good.
Okay.
As long as the shape's good. I mean, I've never been a raw carbon person, but
So I kind of felt like it was
Carlos
a bit of a hubandry
Dominguez,
setup.
he's a raw carbon boy.
Okay. Fair enough.
I think as long as the shape is good, That's all that really matters. That's fundamentally the most important thing with a saddle.
TPU tubes. Cool
TPU tubes.
or
Great for the spares bag. Very compact. You can fit a lot in. They're very light.
so who's cooler at the moment? The TPU crowd or the tubeless crowd?
I mean, you
Put actual practicality aside. Is there?
Has it been a swing back almost?
I felt
to
like there
tubes?
was a swing back to
People
tubes.
come in and they can you clean my rims out and put some clinches back on?
a lot of people are super worried about hookless, and they prefer to run tubes, or people are really worried about hookless but they want to run tubeless and they just want hooked tubeless wheels, which is like fair enough, I guess. I've never seen any hookless catastrophes. I think the only time hookless really fails on you is when you go outside the rules and you go too high in pressure or you get the wrong tire width on there and then things just go wrong. But yeah, I think tubeless, cooler crowd. I mean, it's a better ride feel. It's faster, less rolling resistance, more supple.
I think the TPU tube crowd are on a bit of their high horse at the
They
moment.
are
They get always in the comments. It's like a cult.
They just feel dead when you ride. TPU tubes just feel dead.
Yeah.
Like
Anytime-
latex is cool. Latex is swag.
Anytime we mention a build weight, there'll be a comment. I could have saved like an 80
Yeah,
grand.
yeah.
Fuck off.
Pipe down.
Ride feel
Down with the pinch
on
flap.
latex. I take that.
Yeah. Oh, you would take that.
I think it's good.
Okay.
I'm not over tubeless. I think tubeless is the ultimate. Tubeless is the best. But like if I had to run tubes, I'd run latex and I'd just pump them up every day.
Yeah. See, the tubes crowd, I noticed. So Joe put up a video with his new Cervelo with his new layout for the boys. Did you see the tyres on the bike?
No.
Set of high roads.
Really?
Ooh,
Set
they
of
made
the
a
old
comeback.
high road comebacks.
Oh,
Probably
dang.
a rolling resistance of 780. But geez, they're light. Last one. Heavy bikes. Are
Heavy
bikes
bikes.
cool? Is there a Steez
You're running a
to
heavy,
a heavy
bike.
bike?
I think there's a Steez
Like an 8.2.
rocking up to chop on a steel bike with external cables.
You mean like at the
Not the
cafe
retirement cloud.
and you go, boys, have a feel of this.
Yeah,
And it's not light, it's heavy.
It's heavy.
It's, yeah.
I don't know. I
Okay.
feel like that. I've never experienced that in person.
No?
Anyone being like, feel how heavy my bike is. I've seen some horrendous bikes come through
I'm
the
not
shop.
talking like a horrendous, like just proper clunk fest,
Mm.
but just, someone proud of a bit of a heavy rig. So
Yeah.
he's pulled out the System 6 and it's,
They're pulling out a time.
and there's pull out a time. And there's two people at the cafe. Someone's got the stupid like Cervelo R5 2016 rim brake spec, 3.5 kilos. Whoa. But then the other one with the Merida picks it up. It's a nice 8 solid.
Yeah.
I just
You
feel like
can run into a pothole
can
full
run
gas
into
and
a-
nothing's happening.
I think there's a
And when you
there's
get
a
it
bit
up
of
to
steez
speed,
or
Yeah,
just-
when it
it
holds the
rolls.
speed. Yeah, it rolls like
Yeah.
the System 6. Those were the days.
I think a heavy bike is cooler than it was 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Put it that
Definitely,
way.
definitely. Yeah. Because everyone's chasing that 7.0. Like everyone wants that, but yeah,
8's where it's at.
8's where it's at.
Mm.
Yeah, that's where it's really coming back. Yeah, get the Uno X. Get the Uno X bikes out.
All right, I reckon we do some dogs.
All right.
I sent you a couple of messages.
Yeah, saw that.
And then I've put, I think the rest are hopefully in the notes. It might take a minute to
The
load.
BMCs.
Yeah.
Dog or Fast Bike featuring Edwin Britt's special guest. We are going to kick it off with an Amonda SL5. He's been riding since 2022. We have Fast Sports S5 50mm with a 24mm internal, 31 external. Conti Aero 111s.
Nice.
Woo-hoo-hoo.
Good marginal.
Conti 5000 STR 32 on the rear. Oh, interesting. Both tubeless with Silka sealant. Cockpit is an Avian Falcon 2, 130 36. Very nice. Ultegra Di2 2x12, 52 36 with 1134. Rotors are a Jura Ace 160 front, 140 rear, waxed Silka chain. He has 26. He's done a few races. He's put 1,200 Ks on it. He's German, so he's sliding around the German bitumen on this rig. 7.7 kilos with pedals and computer mount.
Mm-hmm.
The saddle looks 3D printed as well.
That looks like a 3D printed saddle. Boys, I give you the Emonda?
I would say we're fast, except there's the frame. Like everything else is good. Everything else is in line. 130 big dog stem. Slammed. That shifter pos looks good.
I can't imagine any spec of this generation Trek Emonda that I would classify fast. I think it was just dead in the water before it even began.
It's nearly there with the rest of the build. You just have to change the frame.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, Chris,
is there a ride feel here? Is there a ride feel that maybe saves it?
I don't.
I mean, it doesn't even have drop
so.
seat stays. I don't know where's that compliance coming from. There'd have to be some beyond secret sauce to get that thing.
There's no circumstance where this person turns up to a chop ride and isn't at a disadvantage.
Yeah.
Ultimately.
Yeah.
So therefore, I'm sorry,
dog,
Antoine. That's a dog. It's a canine. Bike number 2 from Chris. Chaps, I present the BMC ALR01 for your in-depth scientific analysis. Bike weight 8.2 kilos, ready to ride. We have the size 54. The wheels are VEL 60 RSL2 Sigma Sports in-house brands. 21mm internal rim, CX-Ray spoke DT Swiss 240s. Tyres. We'll dip.
Oh, the Panaracer
Agilist. We're on the Panaracers. In fairness, okay, so he's 28-30. The roads around here are a disaster. Group sets full SRAM rival axis, 48-35, 1036, 172.5 millimeter cranks with a SRAM power meter. Handlebars are the Zip SL70s, 38s. Saddle is a Physique Arione. Bottle cages are your AliExpress specials. He lives in the Cotswolds, ladies and gentlemen. He's riding around with Dave Arthur. And I'm not sure I mentioned this, but it is an 8.2 kilo
big day
bike.
in the lanes.
Big day
just on
lanes.
those tyres, Panaracer Agilist. Now, we all kind of went, when Chris named them. Actually, the fast version of them, which is the 2025 release, TLRs, 9.3 watts bicycle rolling resistance. They're actually not that bad. The regular Agilists in the 28 are 12.2. But 9.3 bicycle rolling resistance is actually
not bad.
Pretty good.
Another thing, he bought this on the UK Cycle to Work scheme. They've got that thing over there where the government subsidises parts of the purchase for you.
I see.
Yeah. So there it is.
I'm going to say the frame looks a bit too big. That's not a lot of post and a pretty short-looking stem. I think we could probably...
It's 190 centimetres, 62 kilos, lanky boy.
62 kilos and 190 centimetres.
Yeah.
Skinny
got
lad.
a little stem and not a lot of post. I think we could probably... And also, I do like the negative offset seat post with the saddle slammed forward. That's fast. That's a good pause there. I got to say, these cages... If you want to contend for a fast bike, you can't be running those cages.
What are they?
They're AliExpress specials.
Yeah. You just like any AliExpress bike just has those cages.
I mean,
the UK government paid for this bike, so it can't be too hard.
Yeah.
I mean, there's not really any part of the build that's fast.
I mean, how would he like us to defend his bike as a fast bike? I mean, this is what I want to know.
Yeah, I don't know how we can.
I mean, we've got a negative stem.
Negative stem, but it's
the
short.
bars
But
look
it's
super
short.
narrow.
But it's short.
He'd
The
be
shifters
so compact on this, wouldn't he?
Yeah, he needs. I reckon he needs a smaller frame, longer stem.
Yep.
More post, zero offset.
Zero offset.
Get rid of this 20 sus.
It's a nice lanes bike, but you didn't come here to find out whether you've got a nice
submitted
lanes
it to the
bike.
wrong. Send it into GCN or something. I think.
Yeah.
Cool.
This isn't
FTP guess, gents.
Those cages.
60 kilos. There's not much muscle mass, but I'd be struggling to be above 300.
I don't know. I reckon with those cages, we're looking at like.
Cages determine your FTP.
Yeah, because have you ever seen anyone fast?
You're like Rainbolt.
Yeah.
We'll just send Edwin a bottle cage and just say, what's the FTP?
Because he's got a little bit of an idea of what's going on. He's got the saddle slammed forward, so he knows that's good for the power, but he's got those cages, so I'm going to go with 260 watts.
Would you say?
FTP, because he's a big boy.
I just said not above 300. I don't believe it.
260 watts.
298.
298.
Ooh,
Okay.
I don't know what measure he might have done the old.
Just those cages, you
test.
cannot be going over 300 watts. Like those cages, it's just like not possible.
No.
Yeah. Gents, we have a banger coming up. Sorry, that was a dog of a bike. We're just confirming that?
That was a dog.
Okay. Bike 3 is a Cannonade System 6, size 58. We have an Enve stem 130, Enve set handlebars 35, and the hood's 40 in the drops. Hologram SL 64 wheels, 21 internal, 32 external. Cannonade aero bottles, Quark power meter, Quark carbon cranks, 172.5, rotor 5844 chain rings. Shimano 12-speed, Dura-Ace pedals, Corsa Pro 30s. He's testing different tyres. Appreciate that from Dan.
Good.
And there it is. Well, I think we should hand this over to the Cannonade System 6 expert, in-house expert.
This brings me back. I would say, well, I mean, this is, you can see there's the latex in a tube on the front right fork. There's a transponder in there. Like this bike means business. It just means business. You can see only the proest of riders would run 15 mil of spacers above the stem and then run the non-aero version of the Enve stem because you just want the bare length. You just need the bare length.
He's dialing it in. He's left his options open.
Yep.
He's left his options open. Probably better headset compression as well, so headset's not going to come loose.
193
He's thought about the bottle cage scenario, and he's gone and got the Lab 71 bottle cages, thrown them on there to make it that little bit extra fast. Saddle is just pointed straight down to the ground. That is just in the pos.
No,
like
you're never riding.
You're not
upright,
in the tops.
Ever.
You are just fully posed out in the 5811 everywhere. This is certified fast. Those wheels, all I needed to see was the latex tube in the wheels. Those wheels, this frame, that's a weapon.
Have a guess. Is this bike heavier or lighter than the BMC that we just discussed?
This is heavier, but there's at least 150 watts difference of FTP.
So he's claiming a claim weight exactly the same.
Really?
As that BMC.
Which was
8.2.
Okay.
Yep, I checked. I would verify that.
This is like 50 watts faster.
100.
It's
100.
like
It's 100. Maybe 100. But more than 100.
Edwin, would this be more or less comfortable than that alloy BMC?
Ooh. That's really hard. I think I'm going to go with probably less comfortable.
Okay.
Yeah, I reckon that BMC would probably be a little bit more comfortable, but this thing
Round seat post
is a weapon. This thing is an absolute weapon. Like, I'm going to guess this guy's FTP is like 395.
Yep. 380.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yep. 75 kilos, 380, lives in the Netherlands and does mostly flat races.
Yeah, look, mate, like got the latex tube on the fork. Like, you're just ready to rock.
Ultegra build, and he's probably could update. You know, maybe he's got the money, but he's like, oh, I don't need to.
No,
Wait. Just when will the day come that he's
What's the
getting
shifting
dropped
like
from
on
that?
a 58 front tooth like?
On the rotor rings, it's not that bad because they're pretty stiff. But if you don't have like a really stiff chain ring, as Jesse knows from his fail the quest chain rings, past quest chain rings, they don't feel good because they're just not stiff. Like the whole thing just bends and flexes and it's no good. The rotor ones are okay. They're okay. I think the ones that you had, the mechanics parts ones, they're the best I've actually ever tested. But they're dogs. They're heavy.
Yeah.
But I feel like you could put a heavy dog of a chain ring on this and it'll just get faster.
Well, if he's doing a threshold effort in the flat roads around the Netherlands, he's going to probably spend some time in that 5811.
Yeah.
Certified fast.
Certified
bike.
fastest
Thank
bike
you,
I've ever seen.
Right. Let's finish it off. Let's bring it home with a budget 2000 USD build.
Okay.
Velo build,
What's the conversion on that?
VBR 268,
Mm-hmm.
size 56. It's an SL7 knockoff, 643 USD. Elite Edge 50 wheels, 51.5 millimeter internal, 31 millimeter externals, steel spokes, just over 400 USD. He's got his Conti tyres on. He's got an Aero front tyre, set up tubeless, Ultegra 8,111 speed, Magine power meter, 165 cranks, 5034 105 chainring. Oh, it depends on the train. He's got two different chainrings. Patrick Leno special Bulgo handlebars.
Oh, that's the ones I got. Yeah.
90 mil cheap aero stem. The Riet Alley saddle.
Mm-hmm.
Crank Brothers egg beater. The egg beater pedals. The Americans love those.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've never really seen much of that. Oh, hang on. It's got the
Just look at the head unit. Just zoom into the head unit.
profile design aero bottles, but doesn't use a head unit.
Look
runs
at
the
it.
carbon watch.
Look at it. It's
Oh, wow.
zoom right in. Quite the setup.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I don't
Oh,
know. I
there's
don't even
some
know where to.
triathlete
I don't even know where to
specs
begin with this. Should we do FTP? Guess the FTP first.
We might not have that.
Now, I got some things.
Oh, he's running a straight block.
Yeah, look, cassette,
That's
tiny
nuts.
cassette. Calling this frame an SL7 ripoff, I mean, I got a photo of an FL7 up. Well, I mean, if you squint with one eye, you could maybe...
This is maybe an SL 7.2.
It's really... There's a lot of differences.
Yeah.
Now, the remit for this bike is some crits and triathlons. So, hence, we've got the ability to throw some clip-ons on.
Yep.
In those circumstances.
Yep.
But he is a swim bike runner. Loves his swim bike runs.
Checks out.
Saddle position?
Saddle position.
Well, if you're a triathlete,
get out.
you've got to be just
Get out.
Rocked over.
you've got to be literally on the bloody stem.
Not so.
What was it? So 2,000
USD as witnessed.
How many Australian Jekylls is that?
That'll be like
3, 4.
3.
Yeah. You could almost get a Quick Pro frame for that.
Yeah, well, the Quick Pro frame with handlebars is 2.2. But then you don't have the entire rest of the bike.
I think a Quick Pro frame with nothing on it would be faster than this bike. I'm just going to put that out there.
Aero bottle? Is we points for that?
No points. We're looking. Look at the pedals, man. Like, you're almost.
Yeah, but you need those for transition. No, look, I don't mind. I don't mind the back end of this
through
bike.
transition with your shoes on. Yes,
That's true.
Aren't you supposed to be clipped in? Are you swimming with the shoes on? Like,
well, that could save
I
you
don't
some
mind
time.
the back end of this bike. I think there's
You like
some
the
aero
straight block?
tendencies.
you like the straight
I
block.
love a straight block.
The straight block is hard. I'm not going to lie. Straight block with the long cage, that's hard. Like, you mean business when you're running a straight block. But it looks like he's running, because the 105 is only a 50. So he's running a 50 tooth with a straight block. So you can't really be going that fast.
Are these the old Elite wheels? They're giving me a bit of the heebie-jeebies, these wheels.
I think this bike's as fast as an Enve Milo.
You could make
That's
that argument.
I'm sorry.
I don't know. I don't know.
There's...
You get the calipers
At
out.
least
that
the calipers.
force.
Look, at least I've got an Enve cockpit, which is, you know.
Yeah, but I don't know. He's got
This
the
bike
hoods are
this
tilted
bike is
in.
not tight. I'm just gonna say this is not tight. That saddle pause, I mean,
Accurate power
He-
meter.
that saddle pause. Need I say any more? These cranks. I mean, I'm not sure if they're the updated ones, but the first generation of them had a tendency to fall out.
Well, I'm going to say fast bikes. I'll leave it over to you. Anyone who... I think it's fast.
As a first bike, you get this, or you get like a SRAM rival Trek Madone with like alloy beta wheels. What do you think? Good, because that's the comp.
This is a type.
2,000 USD.
This is the type of bike that comes to me in the shop after 10,000 kilometers, never serviced, clapped out, and you need to get 1 million proprietary parts that don't exist. This is the type of bike that I would see.
I think I'm going to go dog for one reason, and it's because there's no part of the build that you would sort of keep and then upgrade off.
Mm.
You would probably ditch the frame, you would ditch the wheels. So
Ditch
there's
the
really
group set.
nothing, there's no soul to the bike that would get it across the line. So
resale value is not going to be great.
well,
you could angle the saddle down a bit more and then get some more money.
That's right, yeah.
Two big ones. So what can you expect? I think that's. Are we all in agreement? Besides Chris.
The only thing that's fast about this bike is the straight block. That's fast. That's sick. The System 6, if it had the straight block, you'd literally have to like tie it down, otherwise it would fly away.
Yeah.
Dog.
Any FTP guesses?
I'm gonna go 150 kilos tapered. 150 kilos, 150 watts, 150 watts.
297. Done on a 40-minute test.
Okay.
Not sure what that protocol is.
Oh, that's good.
On a 40-minute test.
Is that just a max 40-minute then?
Yeah.
Is that a berg?
40-minute max.
That's kind of your hour.
Take off 2-3%,
right.
you're good.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
All right, Ed, thank you very much for your time.
Cheers for having me. Always a pleasure.
Apologies about the Enve. No regrets. I'm sure
No
you'll be
regrets.
all right.
I love it. It's got a place in my heart.
All right, Jesse, I'll see you next week.
Chat with you then.